right, hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Couch. What are we? The Couch Squad podcast for Xbox Game Pass.
What a
Whippy, you're
start.
passing in your germs to me. Yeah, we're called the Couch Squad, guys. I promise you, and we're all about Xbox Game Pass. Welcome to episode 2. Today we will be going over plenty of things. We first would like to thank you for the support in episode 1. Sorry, my wife just came in and distracted me by flicking my head, so that jolted my brain. Let's try again. Welcome to the Couch Squad Xbox Game Pass podcast, episode 2. So we have a lot on the plate today. First off, thank you to everyone for the support for episode 1. We got some great feedback from that episode. I learned a lot. We got some great content out of it. We were able to put out some great clips. And we had a lot of fun. So we are everywhere. We are on Spotify. We're on Podbean. We're on Apple. We're on Google. We're on them all now. So we've got a really cool website over at Podbean. So Podbean is just another avenue of where you can listen to. So Podbean is where we upload our audio content, and then Podbean will distribute our content out to the other audio platforms. We do have a website over there as well, so you can go straight to the website and automatically start playing the audio podcasts, as well as check out some of the other things that we've put on our website, look a little bit more about us, things like that. That is at TheCouchSquad.podbean.com. Otherwise, continue to listen to the platforms that you're currently on. Damo, what are we giving away today, mate?
We're giving away a 3-month subscription to Xbox Game Pass. The code word is Fallout.
Yes.
So don't forget that, guys.
So to enter that giveaway, that is thanks to Xbox ANZ. For those on the live stream, that won't be up until the weekend when the episode goes out. So it'll, same as our first episode, it will be on the player.gg website, and we'll have a link out on our Twitter for that. And for those that are listening in at the audio podcast right now, that will be in the description below of where you are listening to. So all you got to do is go to the link, follow the prompts, and enter the code word Fallout. That is today's code word for your bonus points. Again, that will run for around 2 weeks. Because we are doing this episode ahead of time, we don't have the winner yet of last week's yet. That won't be able to be drawn until this Saturday. For those listening on the podcast, we are recording this on Monday. As you can imagine, getting 4 people together is difficult, so we can't always get together on actual recording day and upload it all at the same time. So we kind of just have to get together whenever we can. So yeah, 3-month Game Pass giveaway, and we still have another one to give away for future episodes. Whippy, what should people do if they're listening in?
Well, make sure you like, share, and review our podcast over on Podbean. It helps out a lot in the long run and gets our name put out there a bit more so more people can see the podcast. The first one went really well, but hopefully we can keep them going well.
This apple pie is fantastic. The ice cream's a bit melted though.
Oh, mad invite.
Okay, yeah. So if you are listening in on various podcasts, depending on where you are, if possible, leave us a review, like, or comment. It does all help us out, whether you share us out on Twitter, things like that. Again, we appreciate the support on the first one. So that's kind of wraps up everything that's happened from the first one and kind of our promos. Getting into tonight's show, Epic, what do we have in store?
I've got the last 2 weeks in Game Pass and the new Red Dead Online Blood Money update, Fallout 76 Steel Rain update, also the Forza 5 audio reaction, video and thoughts, games released since episode 1, and then games to release to episode 3. And then Halo, yes, the pinging Halo topic.
Yes, so Halo are going to, in part of their multiplayer, we'll be looking over a interview that was had with the lead multiplayer dev, and he talks about releasing a ping mark system, so we're just going to kind of go over that. So we have a lot to get through, being that we're fortnightly episodes, there is a ton to get through, so we're just going to get straight into it. Yeah, so Red Dead Online update came out. So for those that aren't familiar with the Red Dead Online updates, generally what they do is they will bring out a update where you will need to pay gold bars to get the role. You can earn gold bars within the game for free at a small proportion rate. However, gold bars is also a currency called capital, and as you earn the capital, you aren't guaranteed to find it, or you might find 5 or 10 of it. You can then use that currency to then do more of the higher end missions, which pay out more but are a lot harder to do. From what I'm reading, for the more elite players, there's not a lot of new content there for them. It doesn't take them long to do. But I'm also seeing and reading that I think they're setting this up to drip feed more content now. So they've set this up where they can release more missions around that. I did jump into the update. I haven't jumped into Red Dead Online in quite some time. I hadn't jumped in since before the Naturalist update. So the Naturalist role was the last role they that they added in. I hadn't even played that update either. So it was good for me to jump back into as a kind of a newer player, so to speak. I have done some of the other roles. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But I can understand from a seasoned player's view that the content has been quite dry. I don't know if anyone else has played much Red Dead Online, but compared to GTA, these guys have been screaming for content for ages, and they seem to get neglected. I felt Red Dead Online had a lot of potential early on, and it just, as you've probably seen, it's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, I started to play it when it first came out, but I didn't like the PvP because it was really imbalanced. So people been playing it for a while, had amazingly overpowered guns. So I'm like, I was out straight away.
Yeah,
okay.
It doesn't seem, well, again, I didn't have any issues in my session, but having said that, you can, even though similar to GTA, you can turn on defensive mode and things like that. People can definitely still troll you. So you'll be like, let's say you spend an hour preparing goods to deliver to a merchant to sell. As much as you might not be personally be able to be attacked, all they've got to do is say throw a dynamite at your cart. That cart blows up and you've lost the money value of all your goods, stuff like that. So the trolling aspect is, still there. Hopefully get more content. Visually the game's great. I love it. It was fun to ride around. I thought they would have updated it for Series X and S, but they don't seem to have. The load times seem to have improved a little bit, but not as much as what I would have thought of. I definitely would like to see it optimized for the Series S and X. But yeah, overall enjoying it. I'll probably still play a little bit more. But yeah, stay tuned for more Red Dead Online updates. Hopefully we get some more updates over the coming weeks. That is the latest in the Red Dead Online. That's what happens in that space. Also that came out as well was the Fallout 76 Steel Rain update. So that came out since our last episode as well. So the Steel Rain update is the conclusion to the Brotherhood of Steel update. I personally did play the Brotherhood of Steel update, but I didn't get a chance to do all the quests related to it because I'm a little bit behind in the content. Personally, I love playing Fallout 76. The only reason I kind of stopped playing was it just ran out of people to play it with. I don't like to game alone personally, so, and plus there's just so many other games out and about that kind of draw my interest. But in this particular update, this is the conclusion to the Brotherhood of Steel update. I'm going to read one of the reviews from our friends over at MKAU Gaming, so you can kind of get their feel of how they enjoyed it. Going through their review, they said that while they did side with the Institute during the first playthrough of Fallout 4, the Brotherhood of Steel has always been their favorite faction in the Fallout universe. Not because of their ideals, but more because of the giant suits of power armor and excessive heavy weaponry. You have to admit, a giant armored soldier unleashing a torrent of rounds from their minigun is a pretty impressive sight to behold. So the Steel Rain update takes us back to Fort Atlas, and after the events of Steel Dawn, tensions are as high as ever between the Paladins and the Night Shin. Numerous reports of settlers doing missions and an increase in coordinated super mutant attacks have everyone else on edge, and it's up to the Vault Dwellers to put an end to it. I'm not going to read through the entire review here. I will leave a link for those that want to read it. But going down to the bottom of it, they are highly recommending it for people to jump back into. I understand Fallout 76 was, to be honest, trash when it came out. I had a lot of high hopes for the game, and it was, as we all know, terrible when it came out. I am personally of the opinion that it's redeemed itself. I know not everyone's of that opinion. I don't know what your guys are, but I do feel the gaming community is quite harsh towards certain games. I personally put this in the category similar to No Man's Sky. Like, I know I haven't had a chance to play No Man's Sky in a while, but there's no denying that No Man's Sky has redeemed itself since it relaunched itself. The only criticism I guess I would personally give Fallout 76, it's just a crying shame that given the power we've got in the latest gen consoles, that because they use the they use the old they use the old engine when making this, the graphics I feel are a bit behind the times, so to speak. That'd probably be my only complaint. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are.
You think they didn't sort of remaster it for the
No.
latest consoles or this generation?
No. That it had when they brought this out, it had more of the Fallout 4 type graphics to it. And it had really slow load times on the old gen. And the load times improved, that's for sure. Like, you can move around, you can I did quite a few videos on it, and the load times improved. Yeah, just compared to, say, like Red Dead, I know they're kind of two different games. Like Fallout 76 falls way behind in the graphics detail, but as far as where it is now compared to where it was 2 years ago, I think it's definitely well improved. Whippy, you didn't like it, did you? I took you through half an hour.
No.
wasn't
I
for you.
downloaded it, played half an hour, and deleted it.
You weren't a fan?
I haven't been a fan since 3. I don't know why. I loved 3 and 4 and 76. I just could not get into it. I don't know why.
Epic, it's not one that you've jumped into, Epic?
No. I dabbled a little bit, but not enough to care for it too much. No.
There's still a lot I want to be able to do, and I still haven't launched missions, missiles or anything like, or the nukes in it or anything like that yet. I made a post on the Facebook groups, so hopefully I can keep up with a few people to try and eventually finish some of the quests in there. So yeah, the Fallout 76 Steel Rain launch update is out. I will leave a link to the MKAU gaming review. They are highly recommending it. They are a great bunch of folks. They do a lot of write-up reviews on different games, and I asked them if I could utilize their review, as I haven't had time to jump into it myself, being that I've been so busy. Moving on, we had also the Forza 5 car audio demo has been released. So what we'll do here, and for those listening in, we are actually going to play those sounds now, so everyone will be able to hear them. It goes for about just under 2 minutes, so it's just going to play a few different versions of different cars and the audio sounds, and we can kind of get everyone's opinions and thoughts, and we'll share our own as well. So for everyone listening to the podcast or live stream, that's just going to be played now for you, hopefully.
Hi everyone, I'm Fraser Strachan, lead audio designer at Playground Games, and today I'm really excited to show you some amazing car audio gameplay. So here we go.
I like that sound. So for those listening to the podcast, this looks like a 1950s motorbike. I like that one. My favorite so far.
From the GT.
Yep. That does not impress me for an Impreza. That, for those on the podcast, that was a Subaru Impreza you just heard.
Yeah, but it hasn't got a box around it, so it wouldn't sound like an Impreza. It's a VRZ.
What have we got? I don't know my car. Is that Lamborghini? Ferrari? Someone's going to punish me if I got that wrong. It's red.
That's Ferrari.
Look, it's one of the two.
So there we have it.
Alright,
Can't wait
that's
for
the
you all
same
to-
talking. So they were the few different sounds there. So what you just got? What Whippy? What was your thought? You're the Forza expert here.
I think they're doing very well with the car sounds. I looked a bit further into it all. They're going a bit above and beyond with how they're doing the audio for the next game. The Supra. So before they had pretty generic sounds for each car, but they've got a new system in now. So what you do to a car will change how it sounds. So something as simple as the exhaust can give the car a completely different note.
Yep.
I think they had 5 or 6 Supras out at a desert somewhere, like on a drag strip, doing testing. They had one with a 2J, one stock, one with a turbo, had all this different sounds, and they had mics hanging off this car absolutely everywhere and around it. So you could hear it taking off, and you could hear it doing what it needed to do, and the sounds are actually legit. I really wish they put a RX-7 in that video, because everyone wants a rotary. That's all everyone's cared about lately is a rotary, and what the rotaries are going to sound like, because they always sounded like shit in Forza games. So hopefully they fix that up, but so far it's looking good. And as for Nightlife's comment on the Impreza, that was a Subaru BRZ, which
That
don't
sounded-
have box engines anymore.
But it didn't sound that good to me. I don't know. It just didn't sound.
They don't. The ones that race, who have all your sports exhaust and everything on them, they literally sound like a pack of wasps. Like, they're not a nice sounding car at all. Subaru have really let themselves down with the BRZ, but it is what it is.
Did you have a favorite in their demo?
I like the Supra at the start. That was really,
Supra
really
at the
nice.
start.
Sounded really good.
Barley wants a pack of wasps. What wasps? Epic. What about yourself? Did you have a favorite in there?
No, not really.
Really? No.
No.
I think I'd have to go with it.
with that.
I'd have to go with the. We'll have to call that one a new name. We'll go with the what did I say? Lambo, or what was the other one? What did I call it? A Lambo or what? I can't even remember anymore. One of them nights. We'll call it the Lambo. That red thing. Yeah, talk about a 10-second car. No, look. Overall, I'm liking what they're doing. I know the video is all about the audio. I just love the look of them graphics. I just can't wait to jump in. I feel like
I was
if
gonna say the graphics look.
yeah, I feel like if I was like if you had a proper racing sim, like that would be. I think you'd feel really immersed in something like that.
Yeah,
But that's kind of
definitely.
it's kind of getting off topic a little bit there. So that's it. Well, we got some news later on. But that's it as far as the major news that we noticed throughout the last week or so. We will move into the games that have released now. Since our last episode. So we had Tropico 6 release the other day. I can provide a little bit of a review on this. I've played maybe 10 minutes of it just because I haven't had time to jump in. So it is when I first jumped into it, I thought I was getting to something similar to Civilization. That's what it felt like with the organizing a city, stuff, something like that. I feel like it's more closer to more of a city builder. I haven't played many city builders, but you're playing on these large, like, I can't even pronounce what they call them, archipelagos. I'm shocking with English. These large islands. I haven't played any other games in this series, but you're managing these multiple islands. And I'm kind of maybe in the second part of the tutorial. So kind of like any city builder, like you've got to build different buildings to collect resources, manage your workers. You can set the efficiency of those workers, so you can get them to work harder and produce more, but that has a negative effect. or you can get them produced less, and that might have a positive effect. You can organize different and then you can, like, if you're trading something, you can organize where that trade goes, all that kind of thing. I don't have too much in on it because I've only played like about 10 minutes, but that 10 minutes that I played, I was enjoying. Just for those listening to the podcast, it's really hard to concentrate when the live chat, when you got people picking on you to say, I don't know what they're saying, but I'm trying to. Those listening to the podcast, it's really hard trying to, like, because we are live streaming, by the way, over at twitch.tv/CouchSquad podcast. But yeah, I definitely want to. I'm hoping by the next episode I'll have some more information on you guys on Tropico 6. But if you use an early glance, if anyone likes those city simulator type games, I think you will enjoy it. It has both single player and an online multi co-op. It features cooperative and up to 4 players. You can customize the looks of your palace and all that kind of thing. Build bridges, construct tunnels, transport your citizens and tourists and taxis, things like that. Again, I haven't played the other Tropico in the franchise, so I can't compare it to any of the other ones. But maybe in the next episode I'll have more to say on that. What was the next one we had come out, Epic?
Farming Simulator was the next one.
And you all have a poll up for me to be farming Mr. Nightlife.
And that poll finishes in half an hour, and it's had 13 votes, and looks like Mr. Nightlife is going to become a farmer.
Any of these any of these played in any of the farming simulators in the franchise?
No, I've never played it.
Farming.
No.
I've played
17 and 19.
I want to say I played it with Barley. I played it with someone over on a Mixer. It was not the polls on Twitter. Twitter.tv/TheCouchSquad. I think it was, if it wasn't you, Barley, it was someone. I was over on Mixer. It was, actually, no, sorry. I don't think it was you, Barley. I think it was Red. Mr. Red. I think it was Farming Simulator 17. But yeah, going back on topic, Farming Simulator 19 is out now. It does include the premium edition. And obviously it has multiplayer 2 to 6. I'm not going to go too much about Farming Simulator. Farming Simulator is what it is. It's a farming simulator game. Graphics look fantastic, and I can tell you it's a huge game over on Facebook for content creators. I know when I'm browsing my feed, it's either Call of Duty or Farming Simulator or Truck Simulator. Yeah,
Truck Simulator. Yeah,
anything simulator.
American Truck Simulator.
Yes.
yeah.
Damo, what was the next one to release?
It's Blood Roots. So this one looks like a 2D top-down sort of thing. The synopsis is one hit kill, die try, retry, murder mallet. You're left for dead by a colourful gang of bandits. You'll chain kill sprees to exact revenge on the treacherous Mr. Black Wolf. Improvise your kills with utterly everything you can get your hands on, from carrots to plasma guns. It's pretty sick. You can pretty much kill people with anything, really, in this game. The key points, I guess, for this one, it's 4K optimized, so that's pretty good. It's also optimized for the Series S and X, and it's cloud enabled, and you get that sweet 120 FPS as well, which is pretty nice.
Cool. That cloud gaming, once again, we'll all just be playing Xbox games on that new Steam Deck, not the Stream Deck, the Steam Deck that was announced.
The Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. Don't want to get too much off topic here because I know we're Game Pass, but is anyone pre-ordering the Steam Deck? Better play Game Pass.
Pre-order in Australia?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty certain it's not for Australia.
Short answer: no. I'm not ordering a Steam Deck.
No, same.
If I want to play Steam, I'll just load it up on the computer.
That's it.
It looks nice though.
It does look
Looks
nice.
pretty nice.
It does look really nice.
It gave me PSP vibes when I first saw it. I was like, what?
Yeah. What was the next one, Whippy?
UFC 4. For anyone that likes belting the absolute shit out of other people, it's a good game. It's awesome. They've definitely gone above and beyond with the new one. They've done some real wacky stuff too, like you can fight in hell and all this other stuff. So they're kind of going like WWE style with the maps and stuff. But the gameplay itself is awesome. They've optimized a lot of the fighting techniques and everything, and slowed a lot of it down too. And the AI, they've added a new system where it's all like they're smart AI. So if you're playing campaign and absolutely annihilating them and not wanting to get harder, the AI actually learn from what you're doing. So if you just throw left hooks the whole time, they're just going to keep blocking your left hooks. So it's a good game for anyone that wants to listen to some fighting and see a bit of blood.
I can't say I've been too much into the fighting games. The last fighting game I played, which is not UFC, was like your Street Fighters and Tekken's. They're kind of fighting games, but I don't really even play them much.
Yeah.
The one
I haven't touched a fighting game since like Tekken 4 or something like that.
Yeah, Tekken 2, Tekken 3, or Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Smashing buttons together, hoping for the best. Okay, so I want to go over something really quick with the guys here, right? So keep in mind these games are the games that have released since our last episode, right? So want to just highlight something here. Now, Tropico 6, this is in US dollars, guys. $50. Farming Simulator base game plus the DLC, $80. So we're at $130. Blood Roots, another $20. So what's that, $150? Then you got UFC 4 valued at $180. So this week we have had $180 worth of games released. And if you've not had Game Pass before, you can sign up for your first month for $1. Do we need to argue the value of Game Pass, in all honesty? Like, we've just had $200 worth of the games. Thank you. We just had $200 worth of the games released in a week. And, you know, you can sign up for a few cups of coffee a month.
Honestly, it's a no-brainer. Like, yeah, I've got it on PC, the Game Pass for PC, and it just makes sense. Like, there's just a plethora of games that I'm just looking at going, man, I want to play that, I want to play that, I want to play that. And like to see there's all these like games that I can give a try, you know, where I'd have to spend money like I normally would to purchase it, whereas I just get to pick it up and play it for a monthly subscription. It's a no-brainer for me.
I mean, I can't remember I think the last game I bought, which was, I think it was an accident, I can't remember why I bought it, was the Knockout City, but that was on Game Pass anyway. So just discarding that, I honestly can't remember the last game I went and paid for. I don't know you guys. But I've just been Game Pass. Like, I can't think of the last game I went and forked out, $50-$80 for. It's been actually fantastic. My bank account thanks me. But you think about it, like prior to Game Pass, you spend for those that are outside of Australia, your average game for a AAA, I think it's fair to say, is what, $80 to $100 for a base game. Yeah. So you fork out 10 games in a year. There's $1,000 in games. That's without buying any special editions or something like that. So
like DLCs or anything like that.
Exactly. So yeah, Game Pass is just fantastic value, so you should be going to get it if you don't have it, in my opinion. So that's this week. Now, what is coming out in the weeks to come between this episode and the next one? Epic, do you want to lead the way?
Crystal's comes out tonight. Should be tonight. I haven't looked right now. Single player 2D indie turn-based game. Beautiful art. Amazing art in it. It's about 20 hours. And to buy it is literally nearly $70 Australian.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, $69.95.
I thought it was going to be some tiny game. Is it really $70?
In the Microsoft store.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that one that you're eyeing off personally? Is that your cup of tea, that game, or?
No, I don't like turn-based games, so
No,
that's
not your,
out for me.
that's out for you. Yeah, so my understanding, it's the demo that releases tonight. So well, that's what when I followed the links, it says Crystal's demo July 20. It may be the full launch, but that's just what the Microsoft store said when I went through the Game Pass games that were coming out. So I could be wrong there, but I just copied and pasted is yeah. So we'll kind of skim over that one because we do want to spend a little bit of time on this one. I think this game looks fantastic. Looking at it at a glance. Damien, you want to take us through it? July 22nd.
Yeah. So this game, so it drops on July 22nd. So that's Thursday. It's called Last Stop. Single player, story driven game. Like they say, exploration. So you basically play as three different characters. So story one, you play as Donna. So she's a spaced out high schooler. So you play as her. She's seeking thrills with her friends and so on. Then you play. So story two is John. He's an overworked middle-aged single dad, burdened with the debt and the pressures of being an only parent. John jealously pines after the free and easy life of his 20-something bachelor neighbor, Jack, which is kind of interesting. Then the pair unwittingly fall foul of a vengeful stranger. A cursed artifact threatens to transform their lives forever. So you can see already there's like a lot of you'll play as like the one character going through the story, and then it'll switch over to the next character and stuff. So the third story here is Mina, a ruthlessly ambitious professional who struggles to find the same satisfaction with a family that she does in the thrill of her work, as Mina vies with an upstart college for a crucial promotion. Something ancient stirs in the basement beneath. So you can see already there's some sci-fi vibes going on here.
Yep.
I
I just thought the artwork
so
looked great. Like that's it kind of caught my eye. Like going through it, like
it does give me like a bit more, like, you know, the what
did
is
you
it?
get a chance to look at
What's
the?
games?
Did you get a chance to look at the site?
Life is Strange.
Yeah, I
Life-
looked at the site. Yeah,
Yeah, so it maybe I think Maz has played Life is Strange. I think I'm sure there's plenty of others as well. But yeah, so yeah, it's full. This one's fully voice acted. So it's fully voice acted, featuring hours of dialogue and a voice cast of dozens, with performances from some of the brightest talent in the UK today. It says, including rising stars Lulu Simpson as Molly Smith, and I hope I'm not butchering names here, Cassian Actor as Dylan Hughes. So if I didn't butcher that name, I might give it a go. I struggle to get into single player games, but this one does look interesting. But I think anyone that does of those single player type games, I think they're gonna have a really good time. But what was your thoughts on it, Epic?
Yeah, it looks good. I'll give it a go for sure. It's right up my alley. I like the Life is Strange vibe with all those type of games. So yeah, absolutely give that a whirl.
That one's only a few days away, and that releases on all platforms. That one.
on Thursday.
Yeah, so only a couple of days away. Moving on, we will skim over this one as we covered it last week, but we have Microsoft Simulator releasing on the 27th for console. The only new information we have to tell you is that as Epic and I are both part of the Xbox Game Pass program with Xbox ANZ, we are getting early access to that to share our thoughts on it. Have you actually got your copy yet? Because I haven't got mine yet. No, we can't release. We're embargoed until the 25th anyway. So we can't release our thoughts and impressions until the 25th. I highly, unless we can somehow do some kind of really short podcast, it'll have to be done through YouTube videos, something like that. Yeah, but either go to Epic's Twitter or Twitch or YouTube or vice versa, and I'm sure you'll see our impressions early on that. I'm definitely going to fire that one up on the Series X and get some great footage. I'm going to fly to Toowoomba and visit Whippy eventually. Because it's the shortest flight.
It would be like half an hour.
Yeah, look, we won't. If you want to hear our thoughts and opinions on Simulator, swing back through last week's episode, just as as a lot to get through this week. The next one, Epic, your turn.
Yay, it's Omno, which is 29th of July. This was a solo developer, Jonas Mancke, or Mancke from Germany, and he originally was a freelance animator for movies, and also did some stuff on State of Decay too. State of Decay, well, also not just 2. It's single player in third person. It's a puzzle platformer too. And it actually started off as a Kickstarter quite a few years ago. I think it was like Jacksepticeye was, I think, the first one to stream like the demo of it. So to buy that is like about $29 if you want to get that.
Yep.
Not on Game Pass, but it's yeah, it's very much like an exploration, like Ori.
The graphics look
First Tree.
amazing. Like I've seen
Yeah.
I've seen a few people putting up posts. I'm guessing getting some early access. Like these indie devs are starting to do really good jobs. That's what it's amazing what they're doing. You know, with there's such a small team now. Like it's not. It's would normally not be my kind of game, but I'm attracted to it just because of its like the detail of the game. I'm attracted just to install it. And
a lot of the new games like that too are drawing in more people, and they're more visually stunning than half the AAA games you're seeing now anyway.
Yeah. So it had about nearly 4,000 backers. I think it was like 3.5 thousand Kickstarter backers for that too.
wow,
So
there you go.
It's pretty. Yeah.
That one on your radar as well, Epic, to try out. Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think it's gonna be a lot of people's radar. Damo, what's that one? Is that a game that kind of up your alley, or?
Yeah, it might be something I'll give a try. Yeah.
I think if I was being honest, if it wasn't on Game Pass, probably not, because buying a house, saving funds, you got to watch your cash. But it's really great to see Game Pass is supporting a lot of these smaller devs and getting these guys games out there for people to try. So yeah, I'll definitely give that one a go. The last one releasing for the end of the month, my opinion, going to be hopefully one of the biggest ones alongside Simulator. I think Simulator will still beat it personally just because of how popular Simulator is. The Ascent, launching July 29th. I've been excited for this one for quite some time. I'm sure you guys are as well. The Ascent is optimized for Series X and X, releasing on Game Pass for both console and PC. PC, it also has ray tracing and is online for 2 to 4 players. Supports 4K 60 FPS. So it's a solo and co-op action shooter RPG set in a cyberpunk world. The mega corporation that owns you and everyone, the Ascent Group, has just collapsed. Can you survive without it? All I want to say is, guys, I'm very keen. What about you guys?
So,
I've got it set to pre-install. So.
That's the question. What about you? What about you?
It looks like it's going to be some good fun.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe our little podcast group can get together. I know we have our own little cruise, but I'd love to get together and play some.
looks good.
It looks like a lot of fun. We will definitely do a review on that one, and I think our next episode will be due by the time that's out. I don't know how we're meant to find time. I know we should be grateful for the games, but it's just so many games coming out this month. It's like I'm so behind in games trying to cover them all. But no, that one goes straight to the top. That one. It is the 29th. Yes, I'm all over that one. 100%. So we'll save that for when that one comes out. So moving on to a little bit of other news that we did have. So the lead multiplayer designer from 343 had an interview. And I have forgot to I did put the full link to the interview there. I will put that in the live stream chat for people, and I will also put it in the podcast description for those that would like to have a read of the full interview. So there was quite a few interesting things that was discussed in there, but we're just going to go over a few of the key points that we kind of found interesting that kind of popped up on the Twitterverse. Being that they are working on a ping system. I know ping systems aren't new to us. We've got them in, Apex and other games. So a ping mark system. So when you're playing with your team, you can mark, hot spots where enemies are, weapons are, things like that. They're also working on the level design. So because being that Halo is now targeted at that free to player base, they are trying to not only cater to, I guess, those that have been playing Halo for years, but people that might be jumping in, day one. They want that to be, I guess, a reasonably welcome experience to a degree with finding weapons. So what they're working on as well is a item spawners. So the item spawners are assets like weapon racks and equipment spawners. So it won't be anything new that we're not. It won't be anything new that we're not used to, but it's just new to Halo. You know, with I guess with other Halo maps, you always used to know where all the different weapons are were around the map. They now want to try and I guess make it a bit easier for new players to come in and be to know I guess where to go for weapons. The other reason one of the other reasons they were introducing the weapon racks was being that they will be constantly updating it with events, stuff like that. They said it would be easier to kind of swap weapons in and out, having it in a more centralized location. What was your guys' thoughts? Did you guys get a chance to read through much of that interview?
I like the idea of it just because it's going to be super Apex friendly. The ping system in Apex, I think, is the best one. And if it didn't have that, I would probably never tried it as much as I did.
Yeah.
But the sort of positives to the ping system is because people are familiar with it.
Yeah.
Like there's some other games that are sort of terrible with pinging. For example, Battlefield 5, the ping is so little because it's such a big map and everything like that. And there's other ones that are just hard to ping, but Apex did it well with the double tap to mark a place or an enemy. So I reckon if they'll do that, then it'll be certainly in their favor. And also, yeah, it's welcoming to any of the games that have pinging. I think Fortnite has that, COD has that. So it's something that Halo had it in 5, but I think the pinging was to show your own location, not to tell somebody where something else is.
Yeah.
But I think the negative points to it is people spamming it too. I don't know if it's going to voice line, so there's that. The other positive though to it is if you're in a party, if you're solo queuing, and you're against somebody in a party, a group then you're at a disadvantage if you don't have that communication.
Yeah.
So having the ping, then you've got that back and forth with your own side that you can't talk to. And it stops the habitual kind of campers that might be used to doing that sort of stuff in COD, and pinging an enemy's location is going to be great, I think, to sort of expose them a bit more. But Halo's always been a very sweaty game. It's always been a very big game of like reaction, skill based, obviously, map awareness and movement.
And just the snipers in that game, just oh my god! Every time I would ever jump to that multiplayer, you get wrecked by snipers.
Yeah, but there's such amazing players in that game, and I think the sweaty part about Halo is not knowing where somebody's coming from too. For me, that's the scariest part. They just appear and you can spawn and they'll shoot you straight away. So the sort of downside to me is the Halo's so fast moving. Usually,
it is.
Yep. All that, you know what I mean. So I don't know if it's going to be that useful in that game, because when you got BRs, for example, it's such a long game. People sort of get their armor and get their weapons, and it's just a very long experience where Halo's just bang, bang, bang. And it's like, well, you can ping, but if you're a good player, you're not going to be there for very long.
Yeah. I think the item spawners will definitely be of value, especially to people coming on and I'm not experienced with maps and stuff, so it'll be handy just to know exactly where I guess things are spawning. But I definitely agree with you there with the pinging system. Like the Halo's always got a lot going on in those multiplayer games. Like not necessarily going to be paying attention to the pings. You pay attention to your own.
Yeah.
Again, I guess it might depend on the mode and things like that of what you're actually playing within that multiplayer. But it's going to be interesting to see how people utilize the system once it all drops. Damage, do you have any thoughts on it, mate?
I thought it sounded like they were moving towards like a BR system, because like you mentioned Apex before, Apex is a BR and it's got like the ping system, that sort of thing. You've got it in Warzone. I don't see it used a lot in multiplayer and COD, so that's why I'm sort of leaning towards maybe they're thinking about a BR in
Yep.
in Halo, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in a multiplayer. Because, like I said, I've played multiplayer shooters before, but never used the ping system in there. It's only ever been in BRs, like your battlegrounds or whatever. So
Yep.
yeah.
All right. Now, time is slipping away from us, so we're going to move on to the next segment. So, for those that might have missed episode 1, we introduced a segment last week called light side or dark side review, being that I'm a Star Wars nerd, light side or dark side. So, essentially, what it is we assign games to each other to try in between podcasts, and we come back on, speak a little bit about it. Does it belong on the light side of the Force? Does it belong on the dark side of the Force? So we're gonna get Epic just to kind of go over her
guys,
game,
how's
which
it going?
was
And welcome.
going under. What do you think about it, mate?
It wasn't too bad. It was quite. When you start to play, you think, oh, it's quite difficult, but it's intentionally supposed to be that way. I've discovered. So you play this intern, her name's Jacqueline, and the whole sort of stories about this place that has a lot of failed startups, etc. And you've got to go down to the basement to kill these monsters. And there's like weapons in there, but they're like a lot of office items, so staplers, just like cleaning objects, pencils, and all sorts of weapons you can use. It's just a fun sort of dungeon crawler that it's not a bad play. It's not too shabby. It's got a lot of dialogue, as you can see on there. Like that conversation, the dialogue that you're seeing there doesn't look great, but when you play the game, the gameplay is much better than that. But it's much bigger than
there we go.
what you think it is.
For those on the last one, they're getting into it now. So I died in the first part of it. So essentially, you're just picking up anything. So it's a dungeon. It's a progressive dungeon looter. If I got that right. Progressive dungeon.
Yeah, and then you've got upgrades, and then you've got there's different rooms, like there's little cafes where you can refill your health. Like you can see, if you're watching it on now, how quickly you get just slapped and
So I'm using a ping pong bat thing to try and bash all I'm getting destroyed by my ping pong bat. And obviously the items all have durability and they break, and you got to quickly find something else. Like, how far did you get?
I got a few hours into it. I think the third, there's these different chutes that you go through into different parts of the place, but into the third one. So I got far enough to know that it's sort of intentionally supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be that, oh, geez, it's really hard. I went to the boss, I got killed, 3 times, but there's quite a journey with Jacqueline. So I recommend it. I think, if you could remind somebody, if they're going to play it, that it's just not supposed to be incredibly hard the whole time. But it's just part of it.
So you're saying it belongs on the light side, belongs to all the Jedi?
Yeah.
Belongs to all the Jedi.
If you're looking for a game just to fill in time, then I would give it a slap. But all this is when it started improving for me. When you went into the lobby and you could buy the upgrades and stuff, which was not there at the start.
No, yes. As you progress, it's like a dungeon looter. So as you progress, you can upgrade yourself, make yourself better, and the game gets a little bit more fun. I think if you like dungeon looters, it's a good game to fill in time. I did not, when I mucked around it, I did not expect to be playing it for so long. And I think the only reason I stuck it out was because I died at the start. I'm like, okay, what's this game about? I need to try a bit harder. Awesome. So who do we have next on the list? Mr. Whippy, I chose your game and gave
G'day
you
everyone, and welcome back to
for Speed. What do you think, mate? Need for Speed Remastered.
I liked it. I played it when it first came out, obviously, and I was going to play the remaster, and then obviously you got me to play the remaster, and it definitely brought back some good memories. The Hot Pursuit is an awesome game. If you love the Need for Speed franchise, it's definitely a game worth playing. The remaster, you can tell it's a remaster.
Yeah.
And it's still got the Need for Speed handling of the cars. Like when you go into a corner, all you have to do is tap the brake and then accelerate, and you're in a full blown drift. So, but it's a good game to kill some time.
What do you enjoy more, the
And-
multiplayer or the campaign?
I enjoy the campaign because I can jump from running from the cops to being a cop. I really enjoy that. Yeah, it's definitely worth having a look at if you haven't played it before, or if you are looking for something to kill a bit of time with.
I think my favorite mode was definitely the multiplayer, doing the 4v4, so 4 cops, 4
Yeah.
races.
Very
That
fun.
was that was a lot of fun. What I'm quickly trying to pull up here just for the live stream. And if anyone listening to the podcast, you'll have to go to Epic's Twitter to see this. I'm dubbing Epic in here. Epic made this when she played it. I thought it was fantastic. I don't have the attention to detail to go in and do all this artistic artwork. So the picture kind of is into dust because I'm blowing it up here. But if you want to see it, at Epic Treasure 1 on Twitter, she posted a few different images of this car to kind of describe it. Epic, you probably could quickly describe it yourself, mate, because you designed it.
I don't know. I just sort of went with it. I wanted something that people would remember in the multiplayer, because a lot of the times when I was playing, you don't have I didn't find you had a lot of time to pick your paint job and stuff like that. I just wanted a wrap that I could just quickly select, and I wanted something that was memorable. So I made, I got the brightest color. I looked up the hex code for a neon highlighter, and then I decorated the whole thing on each side quite carefully. It took a couple of hours actually. I mean, it looks.
Yeah, you spent some time on
people
that.
It just looks like graffiti, but
no, I saw you making that. You put out so much time into that. Yeah. So if you're listening to the podcast, jump on to Epic's Twitter at Epic Treasure 1. She's got a few images up on that one. That was a good job, mate. Fantastic job. So where do you put that one? Whippy, you put that you put that with you put that on the last side as well. Damo, your turn. I'm gonna just apologize ahead of time. When I assigned Damo his game Backbone, I'll be honest, I just saw the title. I didn't know a damn thing about the game, and I saw him live stream it, and I felt so guilty. But what do you think, mate, of Backbone?
All right, off the bat, I can tell you this is going on the dark side. All right.
I apologize. I didn't get.
Game is...
Yeah, I didn't get footage. I didn't get time to upload the footage. Sorry. So you'll have to describe it.
That's cool. Well, yeah. So basically, this game goes on the dark side, but it also, the game itself is really, really dark. So you essentially play this this raccoon detective in a post-noir Vancouver, I think it is. And the game itself is very, I believe they call it like click and like a point and click adventure. That's it.
Yep.
So it's very story driven, very like I found at times the sub stories or like there was a lot of like talk in between, and it was like I was trying to sit there trying to figure out, is this part of like the bigger story that you're trying to find out and that sort of thing.
So just for those that haven't played, just briefly describe it. It's like you're playing as a raccoon being a police detective, as in like a role play scenario. Raccoon, sorry.
Yeah. So you're role playing a raccoon
with like 1980s graphics or something.
Yeah, so it's this pixel art graphics, high resolution pixel art graphics, but like
high resolution.
They've got the like, for high resolution for it, I guess. But they had things like dynamic lighting and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But you play as this raccoon, so everything in there is very, very different. There's no humans; it's just animals. So you've got the raccoons, you've got the otters, you've got apparently the apes are like the top dogs, and there's this conspiracy. So you're trying to figure out this conspiracy, but yeah, it's a lot of like clicking through, picking from 1 to 4. You can either be a total asshole, to people, or you can be really nice, and that obviously like helps the outcome and stuff. But there's a lot of like small talk in between as well, and that sort of, I was like, where's this going? So,
mate, in my opinion, you did well to last as long as you did playing that.
We did 3 hours.
So
I did 3 hours.
I
of
don't
it,
blame
so-
you putting that on the dark side, and I will make sure I at least half check the game next time I assign it to you. I wouldn't have even given it
That's
to you.
cool.
And that's the thing about Game Pass.
Yeah,
Like, as
it's
much as we
great.
love the service, we don't mind bitching on a game if we think it's, in our opinion, just not good. So that one can stay on the dark side. It has no place
That's
on
it.
the light side. My turn, guys. So I was assigned FIFA 21 because I don't play sports game. Now, the last FIFA game I played was FIFA 99 on the PlayStation. So it's fair to say it's been a while since I've played a bit of a soccer game. So the footage you're seeing here is purely online. I played whatever game they give you while the game's installing, and I think I drew that game. I hated this game. I lost my first online game 6-0. I lost my second game 5-2, and I think the third game I may have potentially just switched it off and uninstalled. I don't even know. I found it. Look, I'm sure there's no denying it has a fan base. It's hard. Like,
Oh, you want to go
I like to play online. It just doesn't hold your hand as you'd expect. Like you jump in online and I just got melted. Like I'm pressing B to get the ball and they're getting the ball off me so easily, and I'm like using 10 players to try and get the ball, as you can see, and I'm sliding around. They just made me over like I was just nothing. And I'm messaging Whippy and Barley like, how do I get the ball off people? I was getting so frustrated with this game, and then after 3 games of online, I happily uninstalled that game off my Xbox, never to be installed again. Look, it's if you love soccer, it's a good game. There's definitely a lot of like footwork and maneuvers, like compared to FIFA 99. Obviously FIFA 99 was forever ago. There's a lot more, I guess, advanced controls you can do. Because I don't play a lot of soccer, actually I don't play any soccer, like kicking from the sideline, stuff like that meant absolutely nothing to me. There's all these different buttons, they just don't mean anything to me, so I'm just mashing buttons essentially. Like, but you can tell there's all this different customization, how you want to position your players and stuff like that. So that's my opinion on someone that doesn't really play much sports games. So if not a sports game kind of person, I don't think this is the game for you. There's probably better, more casual sports games out there for you. If you love your sports games and love like the advancement of controls and things like that, then yeah, I think you can get into this after doing a whole bunch of tutorials and learning the Bible, so to speak, of the controls, because there's got to be like a Bible of controls in this game. Because but Barley, how do you get the ball off someone? Like, you're seeing this footage, like they're getting the ball off me like it's just nothing, and I can't, like they just steal it off me and I can't get it off them. Like, seriously. 6-0 I lost. That's what I tried. I was trying B. I'm pressing this B button and I just can't. I just gave up. I was getting cranky and I'm just sliding all my players around and I just gave up. So it's staying on the dark side forever in my book. That's my opinion of FIFA 21. It sucks in my opinion. I just can have better things to do with my time. So that's my opinion of FIFA 21. And that wraps up the dark side or light side segment. So I hope you guys enjoyed the dark side, light side segment. This is something fun that we do. Again, they are all our opinions. That's not to say that if you guys go and play them, you won't have a good time with them. They are purely our opinions. Just like anything else.
There's an alleyway. All right.
Reviews could give. With that in mind, moving on to the last segment, we have to assign each other games for next podcast. So who wants to go first? Epic, who are you assigning what game to?
I've got Damo, and he's going to be playing my favourite indie game, which is on Game Pass, and it's on console and PC, and I'll type it in the chat. It's called What Remains of Edith Finch, and it's a beautiful indie game. Again, it's not incredibly long, but it's very well loved. It's got a great score on Metacritic. I think it's got 89%, and very well loved in the Xbox community too. So it's amazing.
Cool. Give it a crack.
It's really pretty too. I was going to give you Outlast, but I thought, oh no.
Horror games, yikes.
I know, right?
All right, so Remains of Edith Finch. Whippy, who are you assigning what to? Who's playing what?
I've got one for Epic this week.
Yep.
And Epic's going to play an old school game.
Ooh, old school.
She's going to dive back into Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh my
Wee.
god.
Banjo. That is old
Nice.
school. Some Banjo Kazooie, eh?
Banjo.
Bit of Banjo Kazooie.
Oh, shit.
Man, good old Banjo, eh? I'm keen to say you think you find that one. That's an old game, Banjo.
Mm.
All right, so Banjo Kazooie for Epic. Damon, I think you've got me, mate, because I said you
Yeah, I've
have
got
me
you.
because I punished you. So what are you punishing me with? Punish me with?
Oh, I don't know if it's much of a punishment, but I was going to give you control. So
Okay, all right.
Ooh.
I haven't.
Control.
I have not played Control. Single player. It'd be very actually it'd be interesting because I say I struggle to get a single player, so I will see how long I last and give me my thoughts on Control. So Control, eh?
Sounds good.
So who have I got? Have I got you again, Damo?
No, you got me.
No,
I've got you, Whippy.
no, you
Sorry.
got Whippy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I just was that busy. I actually forgot to. So I got you again, Whippy.
Yep.
So I got you. I got you again, Whippy. Have I?
Piss off.
I'm gonna do it. I'm actually gonna do it. And here's my rule. I want a solid hour. By no, I won't.
No, I'm saying no straight away.
So for those listening to the
I'll literally
podcast,
give you my answer
I was
right
gonna
now.
give him Fallout 76. I know how much he hates the game, but I'm not gonna do that. I won't do that to him.
Just shot straight in the dark side.
All right, here's one I'll give you then. And I'll be fair. I haven't played this one myself, but I figured this would be a great one for you to do a review on for us because it has been recently ended. I believe it is single player. Limbo. I'll give you Limbo.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
Limbo.
was actually looking at that the other day.
Choice.
Yeah. So Limbo. So let us know what you think of Limbo, mate. So
Yeah, no, awesome.
that is it, guys. That wraps up episode 2 for the week. So for those listening in on the podcast, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. For all the socials, just look down in the description below. Again, if you've enjoyed the podcast, if you just don't mind sharing it, leaving a like, all that good stuff wherever you can, it really does help us out. Thank you very much. Our next podcast will be in 2 weeks, and obviously we'll release another highlights episode in between. I think that is of good value for people to catch up on. So for those listening to the podcast, thank you kindly, and we will all catch you in the next one.